Good morning, everyone. Today's video is in English because I would like to share this to a broader audience. I'm uploading this on YouTube, and YouTube does not recognize Chinese or Cantonese languages, so it cannot generate auto captions, but it can recognize and generate auto captions for English, which can then be auto translated into Chinese in the subtitles captions if you want to. This video today is about a book that has changed my life. Okay, this book is not written by me, so I don't get any financial benefits from it, and in fact this book is widely circulated for free among the Buddhist society most of the time. Okay, most of the time, because there are those that have also translated and also published it, and they may have sold it for the sum of the printing of the book to cover the cost of the book. This is a really good book because it changed my life, it changed my perception, and I benefited from it. My benefit is towards the peace of mind. You see that I have a lot of humor, you see that I am pretty relaxed, and I have a change in the way that I think since I read this book, and I hope that you will benefit from it also, because our world is so stressful now. We're always, the moment we open our eyes, we are always thinking about how do I get that kind of money, how do I tackle this issue, what does my boss mean about this, what is he talking about in this email, and things like this. And there are a lot of injustice that's happening around us, okay, in the macro level and in the micro level, right? So instead of dwelling into these kind of questions and then putting ourselves into a lot of depression, a lot of negative thoughts, I was thinking of sharing the knowledge of this book so that we can all benefit and stay healthy and stay happy regardless of what's happening. Okay, this book that I am going to talk about is going to be something that is more tilted towards some kind of wisdom and practical ways of changing our lives. That there are also some very distinguished and wealthy people who are not intelligent and they still earn a lot of money. So how did that happen? If I want to make it very simple, I'll just say it's karma, right? But a lot of people, they have a misconception of karma and they misuse the word of karma, and without understanding what karma really is, they tend to have a very different understanding of what karma really does. Okay, what I would like to say is karma will do things without your need to be fully involved in any interference. Okay, karma is such that if it happens, it happens. What you can do to divert all the negative karma is to be yourself. Okay, do your part, right? The be yourself that we're talking about here is not, I am what I am, I will do whatever I like. No, it's not that way. Okay, we do according to what is our inner nature. And what is our inner nature? Our inner nature is actually compassion, it is kindness, it is love. Okay, it is all these things that are within our heart, the things that we feel. Whenever you feel something really kind, a lot of kindness, when you feel something loving, you have this warm feeling inside you. Okay, this warm feeling is because this thing is inside you. It feels good, it feels fuzzy. Okay, it feels like everything is turning out very right. If it is against our nature, okay, if it is a totally different thing from what we have inside us, the moment we are met with anger, we are met with greed, we are met with hatred, how does it feel here? There is a lot of aversion, right? We feel stunned by it. It is a shock to us. Okay, we don't feel happy about it, we don't feel good about it, and in fact we feel like, why, what makes this person think this way, why had this person turned into this kind of thing? So it is something that is against our human nature. That is why we felt that way. Okay, more to karma later on. but now I would like to introduce to you a very valuable book. Okay, it does not matter what religion you are, because this book is not something that is talking about religion. Okay, this book is something that talks about how do we change the destiny, how do we change what is a predetermined fate into something that we can safely enjoy our life, we can safely change our life from the bad to the good, we can safely turn around things without causing any negativity to bring bad effects to our life later on. Okay, this wonderful book that I'm talking about is The 4 Lessons of Liao Fan. Okay, some of you who have seen this before, okay, I have shared on my timeline before about this book. Okay, Changing Destiny. It is Liao Fan's 4 Lessons. Who is Liao Fan? Liao Fan is a real person, okay, a real person who had lived in China, and he had been one of those people who ascended from what was supposed to be his predetermined fate into something that it was no longer fated. It is something that he had improved upon himself in the right way. Okay, mark my words over here, which says in the correct way, in the right way, because there are a lot of people who misunderstood and thinks that they have done things to improve themselves, but it was actually something that they are predetermined to have. Okay, instead of something that they have truly taken to change, to make an improvement to what they should have. All right, so I'm talking about this book. For most Chinese Buddhists, you may have read this book in a different form, in this form. It is in a comic form. Okay, it has drawings and it has some explanations. I have the privilege of getting them in English as well. Yeah, this kind of comic book. This is probably not as elaborate as this one, because this one incorporates the explanation by Master Ching Kong. Okay, the late Master Ching Kong. Okay, Master Ching Kong is he has been a monk for many years. Okay, so before that he wasn't born to accept Buddhism that way, because just like many of us, we think that Buddhism, before we understood Buddhism, a lot of times they have thought that Buddhism is a religion with a lot of gods and then a lot of superstition, a lot of do's and don'ts and things like this. But eventually he has the fortune to have found some really good teachers, and one of his first influencers had been a metaphysics lecturer, okay, who had told him Buddhism is the highest level of metaphysics. Of all the courses that he had gone through under this lecturer, okay, this teacher, the last lesson to metaphysics, he was interested in metaphysics. The last lesson of metaphysics is actually Buddhism as metaphysics. So he had benefited, he had understood it from a very intellectual view. Okay, it is not based on superstition, but it was based on intellectual understanding that he had come to accept Buddhism and to be ordained as a monk. Okay, so this is about Master Ching Kong, and he had also read a lot of religious texts, not just confined to Buddhism. Okay, he had also read the religious texts, the Quran, and also the Bible. Christian community had also asked him to expound on the Bible itself. Okay, so it's not just confined to Buddhism that he had shared the Dhamma. How is he able to give talks about the Bible? Is not just by pure reading. Okay, of course he read the Bible, but the main important thing is that he understood the core to the teachings, and all religious texts okay, regardless of which religion it is. All religious texts, it could be Buddhism, Taoism, Christianity, the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, the Quran itself, whatever, Hinduism, Brahmanism, everything, right? The core of all the religious teachings is actually about goodness, okay? It's about finding our inner nature, finding who we are inside. But due to the interpretations of text, the interpretation of context, so people have changed the interpretation to suit what is in their intellectual mind. So back to our book, right? The 4 lessons of Liao Fan. There are 4 lessons. The first lesson being the principles of destiny. Okay, principles of destiny. The second lesson over here is referred to as the ways to reform. The third one is the ways to accumulate merit. And also the fourth one is the benefits of humility. Okay, humility. So this one is more towards going bit by bit, telling the story as the progress of how Liao Fan's life is. And then this one has also the excerpt of Master Ching Kong's teachings. He was also sharing and talking about this book. So they have broken up the content into also the 4 lessons. Of course, we're talking about Liao Fan's 4 lessons. So the first lesson is learning to create destiny. All right. Second lesson is the ways to reform. Also same title. The third way is the ways to cultivate goodness. Okay, so it's not just to accumulate merit. And the fourth one is still the benefits of the virtue of humility. All right. So the basics are the same. So learning to create destiny. So if you want to create your own destiny, you have to understand what destiny is. The first half of your life is actually something that is the fruits that you enjoy, okay, based on your past life karma. So there are people who wants to go to the temple, to go to these places to look for something which we call the book of 3 past lifetimes. Okay, 3 past lifetimes. I had a friend last time who went into who visited one of those fortune tellers, and then she went to get her readings for her past 3 lifetimes, and so every time she was thinking that, oh, I was such a great person in my past life. Okay, so it is a past life, right? You can't change that, but why do you still hold on to it? Right? A lot of people, they like to hold on to what was in the past, so they could not really move on to the future because they think that I was so great in the past, but it is also holding them back. Okay, it is not allowing them to progress into something which is called the present, and it is also not helping them to progress into something that is called the future. Each time they are living in the present, trying to shape their future, they keep thinking about the past, right? So it's not helping them. So predetermined fate is actually what has happened in the past. Everything is fated. No one can change his destiny. Is that really true? Well, there are a few things that we have to understand. Okay, first thing, if we do not accumulate good merits during the first half of our life and to continue with good merits for the second half of our life, whatever that we get, okay, the wealth that we get, the health that we have, every single thing, okay, the rank and position of our job rank, our social status, and everything, the people that we know, everything is predetermined. Okay, in Chinese we say 一饮一食莫非前定. Every drop of water, every mouthful of food is predetermined by the past, right? So if, let's say, we hold on to this, we need to understand, okay, It is not by our wits, okay? It is not by being cunning. It is not by us doing anything of trickery, of anything for us to be able to get that kind of money. Liao Fan okay? Liao Fan himself had the fortune of meeting a really powerful fortune teller. Okay, he used the fortune teller, calculated his birth date and everything, and then every single step of his life, he was telling him exactly what he will get, when he will get it. Okay, how old he is, okay, which rank, which position. In ancient China, there was this imperial examination, the government examination, where all the scholars, they will come together, they will sit for the exam, and then the top scholars will be able to get a position in the government, and then those who failed or who were unable to get into that kind of ranking, they may come back again and again. We have also seen stories like for years, all these people, they just keep coming back until they are already old before they achieve that kind of uh, uh, ranking in the government to be able to pass the exam, as we say, right? So it is not by our human effort alone that we are able to achieve what we achieved. Okay, so a lot of things are predetermined, and a lot of things along the way that we behave, the way that we do things, the way that our intentions, okay, intention is very important when it comes to building your karma. Our intentions will actually predetermine our next destination, what is going to happen to us next. Okay, we call it the karmic effect. One is the cause and one is the effect. This is what karma is exactly, right? It can be something very subtle, we don't see it, but it always happens. Okay, so predetermined. First, Liao Fan had met this fortune teller, so everything was very accurate until he met a second person. Okay, somebody who has wisdom, and not just about fortune telling, somebody who has wisdom to tell him to actually laugh at him when they were sitting in meditation. Okay, they were this Liao Fan, since he had known that everything is predetermined, so he was like, okay, everything is predetermined exactly as how the fortune teller had told me, so I'll just live my life. He said that I'm going to die at this age, I will die at this age, so let's just go on with life. It's just like fatalistic, you may call it fatalistic, just going with life. It's not a bad idea. Okay, he had a peace of mind, he didn't need to think, he didn't need to worry, he just do his duty as a human. And then if he had continued this way, his life will go on exactly as what the fortune teller had said. But he had a good fortune of meeting up with a wise person. They sat in meditation for 3 days, and this wise person was very, very, how to say, impressed with Liao Fan's ability to sit for 3 days and 3 nights without a single thought arising in his mind. Meditation is difficult for many people because people like to think a lot, and our monkey mind is always thinking a lot of things whether we like it or not. Okay, it's always jumping from one idea to another. Really, it doesn't stop, right? So for somebody to be able to sit for 3 days and 3 nights without a single thought is a very difficult feat to happen. But Liao Fan is able to do that. So when they got up from meditation after the 3 days, this wise person asked, "Are you enlightened?" So Liao Fan said, "No, I don't think I'm enlightened." "So how did you sit for 3 days and 3 nights without a single thought in your mind?" So Liao Fan said, "Well, I know my life is predetermined. I know exactly what's going to happen to my life. The fortune teller had told me so I didn't need to think. There's nothing worth for me thinking about. Why would I want to bother myself thinking about things that it's going to happen anyway?" So this was his philosophy, and the wise person laughed at him, said, "I thought that you sat for 3 days 3 nights without any single part because you were an enlightened person. I thought that you had wisdom, but at last you are just a mortal. So Liao Fan was, one good thing about Liao Fan is that he is very humble. He is able to, use his brain and think, why did you say so? Okay, and this brings us to the second lesson of Liao Fan: how to change destiny. Okay, the way to reform before changing destiny. The way to reform. He had this wise person had told Liao Fan, you knew that your life is thus, but you didn't have the wisdom to think about how to change it around. So Liao Fan was saying, how do I change it around? Yeah. Do you have any children? No, I don't have any children. Do you think that you can go beyond the ranking? Well, I don't know if I can go beyond the ranking. Never thought about it because it was so accurate what the fortune teller told me. So the wise person asked him, do you have what it takes? Okay, we're talking about the karma. Do you have what it takes to become a parent, to have children? Liao Fan is a very wise person. Okay, he may not be the most intelligent of lot, but one thing is that he is a very willing student. He is willing to learn, and he is humble in his heart. Okay, he had seen. All right, the fortune teller has humbled him to understand that things are predetermined, and he is not going to go against what happened to him in the destiny. Okay, he is not going to have all these irrational thoughts of wanting to change things without understanding how to change. So he thought to himself, no, I don't have what it takes to become a parent. Okay, one thing, I'm too neat. All right, when you're too neat, you cannot have children. You cannot tolerate people making a mess, and children like to make a mess. I have that problem as well. I have some form of OCD. So I also don't have this, I also don't have that. Okay, so it is not the biological reasoning. All right, it is not exactly the kind of things that are not totally, okay, not totally biological, not totally physical. Liao Fan has a wife, okay, and they are both healthy people, except that Liao Fan may probably, sometimes he will drink, okay, and then after he is drunk, he may be a bit of um, little bit of a behavior there. Okay, some attitudes come out, and then also he may not have that kind of patience and things like this. All right, so he reflected upon himself. This is the way to reform. You have to reflect. Why is it that I encourage you all to study the Buddha Dhamma, to study the teachings? It's not for you to come on to your social media platform to scold people and to say that people this wrong, that wrong, or things like this. No, not at all. Okay, it has to be a mirror for yourself first to see where are your faults. Okay, if I do not see my own fault, I have no right to say other people's faults because I can't see my own fault, and I am closest to myself. I am able to go from here to here within myself. So if I don't look at myself, I don't reflect upon myself, what right do I have to say that another person is not right? Okay? So reading all these things, understanding all these things is a way for us to reflect. Without reflection, we cannot reform. Without reflection, we cannot know what our mistakes are. So Liao Fan is wise. He listened to this wise person. So he reflected upon himself. Oh, yeah, I have all these faults. Serves me right that I don't have kids, that I cannot go beyond this ranking and things like this. Okay, so this is the way of reform. The third lesson, how to change your destiny. Okay, how to twist things around, how to change things around. So the meditation, the wise person taught him how to have a logbook, okay, to count his merits. Okay, it is a sort of like a log system Okay, you will just say like, today I helped this person, so it is one merit. Today I did this for this person, another merit. So when he learned about this system, Liao Fan and his wife, he shared what he learned with his wife. Okay, so they decided to give it a try. Why not? Because all his life it was predetermined, and then of course, if there is actually a chance to have children and have a higher ranking and have better fortunes and to have prosperity and wealth continuing in his family, why not, right? So he gave it a try. So what he did was he did exactly what this wise person had taught him. So he started to accumulate his merits, log this merits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he made a vow. Okay, it's not just about accumulating the merits. He made a vow that I will get this ranking in this exam if I were to accumulate like this X amount of merits. So that's exactly what he did. The exam date is here. Okay, he set a target for himself to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all these many merits, and then indeed he set for the imperial examination. His results was better than what the fortune teller had predicted. Okay, for the first time he had experienced something that was not what the fortune teller had predicted. Okay, so he has seen, oh, so it can be done. All my life it is actually predetermined, and then now this wise person had taught me something so that I can go beyond. So Liao Fan continued the practice, all right, accumulating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so many merits. His wife helped him with the merits as well. They do the merits. They actually it can be giving food to poor people. It can be organizing some kind of charity for people and things like this. So every single day they made sure that they do something good. Okay, so at the point when the wife was a bit worried, because when you are in a low rank you can reach out very easily to do merits. Okay, but the higher you go, the more merits you will need to accumulate to reach your goal. It's just like your KPI. Okay, so it's just like a KPI. You need to do more so that you can actually achieve even more. Your goal, your target is so much higher that you need to achieve even more. So there was once one instant when Liao Fan was stuck. Okay, he was saying that I was trying to do all these things, but then I can only do this much. I'm not going to reach that. It was something, if not mistaken, it was something like a 50,000 merits. Okay, 50,000 merits. So how do you do 50,000 merits within such a short time, within such a restricted time frame? So Liao Fan was thinking about it, and in his sleep, right? By then he was quite a high-ranking official. So in his sleep, a deva came by. Okay, a divine came by, and the divine told him, "Why are you had a conversation with him? Why are you so worried?" So Liao Fan said, "I need to reach this 50,000, and I don't know how to reach it because I cannot go to the grassroots again to do my merits." So the divine said, "You already reached it." So Liao Fan asked how. So the divine told him, "You reach it because you are now the official for this place, okay? And you have changed the structure of the tax system so that it does not cause stress. It does not stress out the 50,000 people living in your district, okay, living in your area. So all these 50,000 people have benefited from your one change of this policy alone. So you have already reached your 50,000 goodness of your 50,000 counts of merits." So waking up, he realized that, oh, it can be done on a mass scale like this. You don't have to go one by one. Okay, so I have always said that, people in position, people who are high ranking, people who have the influence. Every single thing that you do in your position that is being seen by others, that is being experienced by others, that is actually going to set an example to others, will also either amplify your good points, your merits, or it can amplify the extent of your bad karma. Okay, it is relative, it is effective, and it is something that even your greatest calculations can account. And no matter how good your physics is, you are not able to come up with a formula for that, because it is so different from what our mortal understanding, our mortal knowledge is able to determine. Okay, so if you're a person in good position, like for example, I am doing this video right now. Okay, I come here with this video and I have to make sure that every single word that I say is true, right? Because if I were to tell you something and it is not true, it is a lie. Okay, and for those of you who put your trust in me, who believe in me, who has all this while supported me, because you see that, oh, Angelina has logic, so we want to follow what she say. Okay, we agree with what she said. If I teach you the wrong things, right, and if this wrong thing actually goes so far beyond my knowledge of reach, the bad karma that I accumulate teaching you wrong things is going to haunt me in the form of bad fruits, in the form of retribution against me in another lifetime, in this lifetime, in another lifetime. Okay, and possibly many other lifetimes beyond my next, right? So in a position of influence, you have to take up the responsibility not for the society, but to actually take the responsibility for your own karma. Okay, so I will not create videos teaching you to do the wrong things or glorifying violence. You don't see me glorifying violence. You don't see me wishing ill of other people, right? Even in my heart, I do not wish ill of other people, because a thought by itself is a karmic seed. It is not seen by other people. People do not know if you don't speak it out, but there are divine beings that can see beyond our speech, that can see beyond our actions, that goes right deep into our thoughts and into our hearts to know what is inside. Okay, so that thing, one of it is karma. If you wish ill of others, okay, if even at work or anything, if you wish ill to another person, beware, because you have planted a karmic seed, and then it will come back to you in one form or another. Okay, so coming back to this, as a person of position, okay, Liao Fan has actually taken the step to reduce taxes, to release the burden of his people. So at once, everybody benefited from this, and his goal has already been reached. That 50,000 merits have already been reached. Okay, so this is how great it is, how vast it is, that it actually makes him humble. Okay, if we were to understand the vastness of karma, it humbles us down, right? If you truly understand karma and you know what kind of result it can bring, you will not dare to perform even a single form of evil, not even say anything that will cause any evil of any form, not at all. You won't dare to do that because you know the consequences of it. All right, okay, so that is somewhat of introduction. So there's also the benefits of humility. Okay, so When Liao Fan is humbled, okay, when he feels humbled, he is willing to learn and he has respect for everyone. So when he has respect for everyone, people are willing to teach. So this is the benefits of humility. Humility will always lead us to better people, okay, people who are willing to help us in times of need, people who are willing to stand by us if we are in trouble. And even if there may be humans that do not come to help us, because of the humbleness in our heart, the divines will not sit there and just watch, okay, the divines will always help those who are worth helping. Okay, so this ends my book introduction for today. I hope that you are able to get either this book or get a hold of this book. Okay, I have shared the link of the audiobook for this one in my YouTube description, so you can just click to expand reading the description of this video, and you will be able to then listen to the audiobook. Okay, I prefer to read because I like to look at words, I like to touch and feel the book. Okay, and for those who does not have much time and you have better learning through listening, you can always listen to the audiobook. Okay, till we meet again, bye bye.